Welcome to our channel. Today we'll show you a 2011 South Korean romantic action drama film titled Always. It follows the story of Marcelino, a former boxing champion turned water delivery boy who forms an unlikely bond with Junga, a blind woman working in customer service. As their relationship blossoms, Marcelino's past troubles resurface, leading to sacrifices and ultimately a heartwarming reunion between the two characters. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with Marcelino, once a renowned boxer, who now leads a mundane life as a water delivery man. With a tough exterior hiding a hidden sorrow from his past, he navigates through each day, longing for the excitement and fulfillment of his former boxing career. A few days later, Marcelino takes on a part-time job as a parking lot attendant, inheriting the station of his retired senior. Alone in the dimly lit booth on a rainy night, he finds solace in the glow of the small television. Suddenly, a friendly voice breaks the silence as a girl enters the booth, mistaking Marcelino for his predecessor. He soon realizes she's blind, mistaking him for someone else. Learning that she used to watch TV with the retired senior, Marcelino gently informs her of his absence. After hearing this, she leaves the booth. Sensing her discomfort in the rain, Marcelino invites her to stay and watch TV with him. Though unable to see, the blind girl finds joy in the sound of the drama unfolding on the screen, bringing a rare moment of brightness to Marcelino's dull existence. Grateful for the company, she shares homemade food with Marcelino and entrusts him with caring for a night jasmine plant. Back at home, he eats the food given by the girl. Inspired by this unexpected encounter, Marcelino begins to contemplate a new direction for his life. Meanwhile, the blind girl toils away in a customer service job, fielding calls from often rude and demanding customers. Despite the challenges, she perseveres, knowing it's her only means of employment. Adding to her discomfort is her unsettling boss, whose unwelcome attention makes her uneasy. The following day, Marcelino goes back to his old boxing gym. His coach is happy to see him, but the gym owner is angry. Marcelino left suddenly after winning a big fight, and it hurt the gym owner's business. While Marcelino is there, he meets his old rival who wants to fight again, but Marcelino doesn't feel ready to fight. This makes the gym owner mad, and he kicks Marcelino out of the gym. The blind girl returns to watch the TV show with Marcelino again. This time, she asks him lots of questions about what's happening on the screen. Marcelino starts to feel close to her. When the show ends, Marcelino gives her a box of peaches to thank her for the food she gave him before. As she leaves, Marcelino finally learns her name, which is Junga. Marcelino eagerly waits for Junga to arrive the next night. They enjoy watching the drama together as usual, and this time they start to open up more to each other. Junga is curious about Marcelino's appearance, and they share stories about themselves. After the show, while Junga is walking home, a reckless driver nearly hits her, causing her to sprain her leg. Marcelino rushes to her aid, taking her to the hospital and then carrying her on his back up the stairs to her apartment. He's shocked to realize she faces this challenge every day. At her apartment, Junga asks for his help with a clogged drain, which turns out to be blocked by her panties, much to her embarrassment. Grateful for his help, she gives Marcelino 2 tickets to a music concert as a gift. Since Marcelino doesn't have any friends to go with, they decide to attend the concert together, sparking excitement in both of them. On their date day, they have a great time at the music concert, followed by a lovely dinner together. During their conversation, Junga revealed that she used to be a regular person until an accident took her vision and her parents. She opens up about her struggles, but when she asks about Marcelino's past, he suddenly grows uncomfortable. His mood shifts, and he inadvertently makes a sarcastic remark about a spill on Junga's dress, dampening the atmosphere. Junga decides to end the date, but Marcelino still walks her home, which she apologizes for the night's turn. Just before she goes inside, Marcelino gathers his courage to share a bit of his past. He admits he was once a boxer and got into trouble when he was younger, which led him to his current job as a water delivery boy. He's been trying to improve his life, but he was ashamed to talk about his past before. The following day, Junga finds herself called into her boss's office at work. He presents her with a gift, but his intention seemed inappropriate, making Junga uncomfortable. She swiftly excuses herself from the situation and leaves his office. After work, instead of meeting up with Marcelino, she heads straight home, leaving Marcelino feeling disappointed. He had been looking forward to making amends for his behavior the previous fight. After much deliberation, Marcelino decides to confront his past by meeting with his old coach and the gym owner. Despite feeling powerless and ashamed, he finally reveals the truth. He spent 40 years and 3 months in prison after his championship win. Following his boxing career, Marcelino became involved in debt collection and violence, leading to his arrest. The turning point came when he injured a man during a car accident. Marcelino now visits him regularly, seeking redemption for his past mistakes, and the two have formed a close bond, leaving their troubled past behind. As Junga makes her way home one evening, she's taken aback when she hears footsteps behind her. To her dismay, it's her boss, clearly intoxicated, who barges into her home with a bottle of wine in hand. Junga, mindful of her job security, tries to remain polite, but the situation quickly escalates as her boss becomes increasingly forceful. Despite her protests, he persists, even going as far as offering her a necklace as a bribe. When she refuses, he becomes enraged and attempts to assault her. Thankfully, Marcelino arrives just in time to intervene, swiftly incapacitating the boss and rescuing Junga from harm. However, rather than feeling relieved, Junga is distraught at the thought of losing her job, her livelihood hanging in the balance. Marcelino, determined to help her, reassured her of his support, but she pushes him away, feeling overwhelmed by her circumstances. In the days that follow, Marcelino keeps a watchful eye on Junga from a distance, ensuring her safety without her knowledge. And then one evening, Junga approaches him with a newfound sense of optimism. She invites Marcelino to join her on a spontaneous getaway for the weekend. Thrilled by the invitation, Marcelino eagerly accepts. On the day of their excursion, Marcelino arrives at Junga's home, surprising her with a cute little dog he's adopted to accompany them on their adventure. Together, the trio sets off on their journey, immersing themselves in the beauty of nature. Along the way, they engage in heartfelt conversations by the riverbank, sharing stories and laughter as they forge a deeper connection. Before parting ways, they each select 2 pebbles as mementos of their memorable day together. As time passes, Junga decides to take Marcelino to visit her parents' memorial site, wanting to introduce him to her family. With a heavy heart, she shares the tragic story of how she lost her sight and both of her parents in a devastating car accident. Marcelino listens intently, his mind swirling with a dawning realization. As Junga recounts the details of the accident, Marcelino's heart sinks as he comes to a startling revelation. The same incident that took Junga's sight and her parents from her is the reason he was arrested and imprisoned. The knowledge that his past mistakes have caused irreparable harm to Junga's life fills him with profound sorrow. Yet, despite the turmoil raging within him, Marcelino cannot bring himself to confess the truth to Junga, fearing the devastating impact it may have on her. As Junga's vision continues to deteriorate, the doctor delivers the grim news that her sight is rapidly fading, with complete darkness looming on the horizon. Urgently needing a transplant to save her vision, the doctor suggests a costly procedure. Desperate to help Junga, Marcelino grapples with the daunting task of raising the necessary funds. Turning to his old rival for assistance, Marcelino finds himself drawn into a shadowy world of illegal fights in Thailand, where quick cash comes at a steep price. With a heavy heart, Marcelino conceals the truth from Junga, assuring her that he has enough savings to cover the operation costs. Initially hesitant to burden Marcelino with her medical expenses, Junga eventually relents, swayed by the hope of seeing their future together. As Junga bravely faces the uncertainty of the operating room, Marcelino makes a difficult decision to leave for Thailand without bidding her farewell, driven by a desperate need to secure the funds for her surgery. In Thailand, Marcelino faces a brutal cage fight, unaware that his old rival had bet against him. Despite the odds, Marcelino emerges victorious, winning a valuable diamond. However, his triumph is short-lived as his rivals men ambush him, seeking to steal the diamond, and they badly injured him. Meanwhile, in Korea, Junga's surgery is a success, granting her sight once more. Despite her anticipation, Marcelino remains elusive. Later one day, she receives a parcel intended for Marcelino from the Catholic hospital. She visits the hospital and encounters the man Marcelino often visits and the nurse, both recognizing her as Marcelino's girlfriend. Upon learning of Marcelino's past and the circumstances of his absence, Junga finds herself grappling with the reality of their situation. After contemplation, she begins to find a sense of peace regarding the accident and its aftermath. Life continues for Junga, who now channels her creativity into sculpting in her workshop. Attempting to capture Marcelino's likeness proves futile, as she has never seen his face. Despite this, her life takes on a semblance of stability as she dedicates herself to volunteer work at a local hospital. Unexpectedly, Marcelino reemerges as a patient there. Oblivious to his identity, Junga provides him with care, while Marcelino, burdened by his injuries, remains silent, seeking to sever their ties. Following his discharge, Marcelino visits Junga's store, purchasing a vase adorned with a night jasmine plant and reclaiming his pet turtle. As he exits, his dog recognizes him, prompting Junga to apologize, unaware of his true identity. Later, realizing the pet turtle is missing, she learns from a worker that a person on crutches had visited. Recognizing the possibility that it was Marcelino, she rushes outside in a desperate attempt to find him, but is unsuccessful. Deep in thought, she revisits the location of their shared trip. As fate would have it, the two reunite there, their journey coming full circle as they embrace, marking the conclusion of their tumultuous yet enduring story. Enjoy the story? Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more engaging movie recap and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads.